Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at the Holy Wrath OTK Paladin. And this build that I've been playing, this is the same build that Nalgidan brought to the America's Winter Playoffs this weekend, and this is my favorite build of the various iterations of this deck. In particular, what I like about this deck, I like having two youthful brewmasters, I like having True Silver Champion, it's especially good against Rogue, and I like having Shrink Ray. Those are some of the main variants that appear about this deck. Although this deck is generally called the Wrath OTK Paladin, the Wrath thing is not really an OTK, not even in those variants of this build that have two Holy Wraths, because they are rarely able to use two Holy Wraths in a single turn. But this is actually a hybrid deck between the Holy Wrath OTK and then the Horseman OTK builds. So it depends on the matchup which strategy you're going to go for. You have the ability to Baleful Banker a Shirvala back into your deck when you're in fatigue, and then on the same turn, because your Shirvala is going to cost very little or possibly nothing, Holy Wrath with the Shirvala to deal 25 damage. And if you combine that with, say, you're in Uther of the Ebon Blade form, you have that 5 damage weapon, you swing with the weapon, you put your opponent to 25, and you shoot them in the face with the Shirvala mana cost 25, boom, dead. Or otherwise if you're able to deal some minion damage. And that is a viable way to win a number of matchups. Matchups where your opponent doesn't tend to be at full health all the time, matchups where your opponent doesn't tend to gain a lot of armor, so it has its uses. But the reason there is no really pure Holy Wrath OTK decks in the meta at all is that, well, some decks, Old Warrior, Druids, they just gain a lot of armor, and then even if you shoot them in the face with 50 damage, which would already require some further changes into the deck, you still cannot kill them. There are variants of this deck that can shoot for 25 and then shoot for 25 again. Most of them do it with running single Baleful Banker, and the way to do that would be that you Baleful Banker Shirvala and Holy Wrath, and then you Zola your Baleful Banker, so that when you draw the Shirvala you can do the same again next turn. But I don't think that's very useful. And if you're in a matchup where that 25 damage isn't going to kill your opponent, then you always have the opportunity to go with the Horseman. Then you go with the regular Horseman OTK. You play Horseman, you bounce them back into your hand until you have enough, and then you just play all 3 from your hand, make one more from the hero power, boom, 4 Horsemen, dead opponent. This version of the deck can go for that in a very straightforward way, because there's 2 youthful brewmasters, and there's Zola, so you can actually bounce 3 Horsemen back into your hand. Optionally, there's also the Baleful Banker, so you could shuffle a Horseman into your deck and then draw it later on. And some versions of this deck that don't run 2 Brewmasters rely on bankering one of the Horsemen into the deck in order to draw it later, in those matchups where they go for the Horseman OTK. So, 2 alternative win conditions. This deck doesn't really have any other win conditions. If you play a bit more traditional Control Paladin style, OTK DK Paladin with Linessas and stuff, then you can also win with simply minion pressure, with your steeded minions and stuff. But this deck doesn't really have those minions that could actually win the game for you. There are 3 ways to win. You win with the Horseman OTK, you win with the Shirvala OTK, or if it's an aggro deck, you can also win simply by removing all of their threats and then they will concede. And there is plenty of removal in this deck, because you have equalities, of course, Pyromancers, Consecrations, Shrink Ray. There's stuff like Talnos Consecration to deal with some 3 health minions. And once you have chosen which way you want to kill your opponent in a particular matchup, it can also change in a single matchup, because in some matchups both ways are possible. But if you choose to commit to one of the ways, then that opens up ways for you to, for example, use Shirvala to a very good effect. Because if you're going for that Shirvala OTK, then suddenly these Brewmasters and this Zola, they are freed from their obligation to bounce back Horsemen to your hand. So instead you can use them to bounce back Shirvala or copies of Shirvala back to your hand. So then you can actually play many Shirvalas during a single game. Do like Shirvala, Zola back to Shirvala, Brewmaster back to Zola, so that you can do the same next turn again. And because Zolak makes a copy, then that even leaves Shervala on the board. Just a number of very powerful things that you can do. As for the mulligans with this deck, Uther of the Ebon Blade is still, even though this deck has more flexibility, it's still generally a good keep. In the majority of matchups you want to hold on to your Uther. I wouldn't keep it as a soul keep against something like Rogue or Shaman, which can be very aggressive and then they might just kill you before you get to that point, so you need to have some removal pieces. But against something like a Warrior or Druid, you could just keep Uther as the only keep. Other than Uther, you're looking for card draw and you're looking for removal that is appropriate for the matchup. For example, I would keep a True Silver Champion against Rogue, and I would keep Pyromancer equality kind of stuff against Warlock or Hunter. Whereas if I was against a Warrior or Druid, I would just completely focus on card draw, Crystology and Prismatic Lens. Especially those two, because they draw multiple cards, but even cards like Novice Engineer. So it's Uther, card draw, appropriate removal. Overall, it's a pretty fun deck to play, and it does seem that in the end, having this double win condition with both Horsemen and the Holy Wrath Shervala available seems to make the deck a little bit stronger in the current metagame. Even though a pure Horseman OTK deck still has good matchups as well. If you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at Holy Wrath OTK Paladin in action. I think we just keep the card draw. Let's see what happens. Timeout, Prismatic Lens, Prismatic Lens. Who shuffled this deck? Right. I mean, I guess he could have a cleric, and then he can draw, because I played the minion. O, T, and K. That's the way it goes. I don't have any really good answers here, even. I think I want to go into Prismatic Lens. Let's see what I can pick up. Pyromancer and Consecration. Alright. How do I avoid being OTK'd? I don't even know. As the pressure is coming, Crystology will pull Talnos and Kangor. Those are not terrible pulls. We can pull Talnos and Kangor. Oh, there's also Novice Engineers. We can pull those. It's okay. Play a pair of Righteous Protectors out there. We could have like Spirit Lash. And so what if you draw Shervala with it? The spell then becomes unplayable. Yes. But it doesn't matter. Even if it's Holy Wrath, then I just am forced to go for the Horsemen. But then I have a free Shervala early on, so it fully compensates for that anyway. What is Prismatic good for? You just need additional draw. Oh, that one hurts. That one really hurts. Now this Velen is going to get resurrected. Time and again. Well, I guess I will just die then. The only way I have to kill the Velen is with the True Silver Champion. But I do need to kill it. Because he might not have Servitude in hand. I mean, he doesn't always have Servitude in hand. Thompson, have you been following your YouTube content? Thanks. I'm happy to hear that. Lyra action. Okay. So trying to get some random spells. That's a good first random spell. Good second random spell. That's all random spells. Well, I have to take some damage from the Lyra too. 9 cards in hand. I just can't leave him with the Lyra up. I can play Talnos Consecration to try to get some draws going. I'll use the more expensive Consecration first. I also want to kill the Radiant Elemental to deny cheap spells. But I desperately need to get to higher health totals here. Because this amount of... Oh, Velen top deck. Velen top deck is a good top deck. Now I kind of need an equality here. Neither of those is an equality. Not enough mana to get an equality out there either. So I'm going to be forced to use a timeout here. Not my favorite thing ever. But I think I will sacrifice the Talnos for another draw. Well, Lich King alongside Velen doesn't really change the fact that I need an equality. Well, maybe a little bit, because Shirvala could have killed the Velen. Yeah, there's no equality in sight here. But that is a Shrink Ray. Unfortunately, I don't have enough mana to make Shrink Ray work this turn. So I need to do like Shrink Ray Consecration or Pyromancer's Shrink Ray. Neither of which are available. So I'll have to spend my second timeout, and I think that will condemn me to lose the game eventually. I needed those timeouts for later. Yeah, having to use both timeouts this early because my draw is terrible, then... 9 cards left. I mean, in bottom 11, all 3 board clear spells. I simply will not have the tools to survive, because he will be able to deal so much damage once he gets those resurrects. And I expect some resurrects to come in the very near future. Well, I have the Equality Consecration for 4 mana, so I could heal up a little bit with the Shirvala. If I do Equality, Shirvala costs one that's 3 mana for 5 mana. What if I do Shrink Ray? I could do Shrink Ray Consecration too. Shrink Ray, Shirvala, then Consecration, then Youthful Brewmaster. Heal this turn. But I think I have to heal this turn, because I think I will die from 18. Shrink Ray, Shirvala, hit there, Consecrate, Brewmaster Shirvala back to my hand. So I get to 25, so that he will need to resurrect both Velen and Malygos. Maybe for lethal. If he has double Eternal Servitude, that might work out, or it might not. But I'm very committed now to try to go for the Holy Wrath lethal at the end of this game.
Unity, precision, perfection.
That's a good protection for the Velen. But if I need to commit the Equality... But I don't have to commit the Equality. I do have to commit the Equality. I can't bounce the Shirvala. Pyromancer Christology doesn't kill the Ziliax. But if I commit the Equality, then I cannot clear a Spellstone board. If I don't commit the Equality, I will just die to a Spellstone board. Equality, Pyromancer, Christology. And I want to play the Novice Engineer too. This is the best I can do. Because this allowed me to draw a little bit more, so I might find the second Equality. But I can still die to a Spellstone turn. Malygos should not be 25 damage. But in this case it seems that it's going to be 25. It wasn't... Oh boy. Okay. Well, then we just heal right up again. So it's going to be Kangor, Shirvala. Shirvala deals 7. Then I need another 5. I can get another 5 there. Kang or Shirvala. Shirvala hits into the Malygos. Novice Engineer hits into the Malygos. This one hits into Malygos too, right? I have to Flash of Light it first. Then it hits into Malygos. Then I bounce back to Shirvala. Then I hold. This is the play. It took me a while to find this play, but this is the play. This is the play. This gives me health, and this keeps a Pyromancer in my hand. I got rid of that Malygos, and I have a Pyro Equality left. I have 2 cards left in the deck, but I still need to deal a few points of damage. Resurrects 3 minions. What does he get? He gets Lyra Velen. Okay. There's a Zola. He has 2 more spell stones. And I would need to find a turn to set up the Uther. That's a big problem. This is Pyro Equality, the Shirvala, Zola. I have to hope he doesn't have another spell stone. Because this is the last clear I can make. This is the line. I get to 28. I build a board. He must not have another spellstone. Cloning Gallery. What does he have left? He has a statue left. I'm out of cards. Okay. So I need damage to face. This one will obviously trade here. This one will trade here. I can't hero power it. I have to try with the Uther. It's a 50-50 roll, and if the Shirvala wins, I win this turn. If Shirvala doesn't die now. Unfortunately, Shirvala died. Then it's Uther. Because then I need Uther to push face damage. Because I need to get him down to... I need to get him... If Shirvala didn't die there, then I had enough mana to do 25 from hand. He has to be at 25. He cannot be higher.
The light has betrayed me.
If he's higher than 25, I cannot do the OTK. He's at 24. So I hit him in the face. I play the Shirvala. I banker the Shirvala. And I Holy Wrath him in the face and we win. Yeah, Holy Fire, that's my middle name. I think I keep the Pyro Equality combo. And I managed to pick up Shirvala. Okay. But I need to play a bunch of spells to actually activate Shirvala sometime in the near future. More Pyromancers. Alright. Hunter kept 2 cards, has the coin. What kind of hunter? What is the archetype? No clue yet. Okay, so Master's Call or Hybrid, most likely. Am I going to kill him with the Horseman? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to use to kill the Hunter yet. What if he has like an early Deathstalker? Ooh, Vicious Scale Hide. Alright. Now this really looks like some kind of a Master's Call build. I did not manage to pick up. Alright. I did not manage to pick up a Righteous Protector from that. That was kind of what I was hoping for, to put a Righteous Protector over here. Then if I need to use Pyro Equality very early, that is extremely awkward. Consecration. If I drop Pyro Consecration, that doesn't do a whole lot. This doesn't look like this deck has secrets, so Talnos Consecration is unlikely to be very useful. I also kind of don't want to do an Equality clear yet, although the Dire Frenzy risk is growing all the time. I also kind of don't want to commit the Kangor yet. I think we'll play the Talnos and Hero Power. See what happens next. He's always killing Talnos for sure. Even if there are no secrets, there's always a Deathstalker Rexa. That's the Dire Frenzy that I've been a little bit afraid of. But at least it's not a... it doesn't have a charge. So that's something. Playing conservatively, that's good for him. I don't have a ton of resources here. I think I may need to commit the Crystal Smith here. Do something like this. Let's see. He could coin Rexa. Obviously that's possible. He can have stuff like Unleash. Next turn I probably will have to clean up the board. No matter what happens. But let's see what kind of commitment I can get from him first. He does have secrets, so he does have Spellstone. Oh boy. That was not what I wanted to... that was not what I wanted to learn. That he actually has Spellstone. Oh dear, oh dear. Mother just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for your support. Because short of committing the Equality, I don't have a lot of ways to out of this. Will the Baleful Banker combo be enough? Or the Horseman? I'll go for the Horseman, right? I'll actually do Equality. Then this and these. I'll do it like this. So I'll get another Kangor into my deck. I give up on the Shervala OTK, or it's just 25 damage, and I commit myself to killing him with Horsemen. I have Pyromancer Consecration to clear a Spellstone board, which he cannot do yet this turn. I could have of course also bounced the Baleful Banker back to my hand to retain the Shervala option. But against tons and tons of secrets, the Shervala option doesn't even look that strong. Alright. Then I guess we'll draw a minion and a spell. Give him a timeout. It's okay. 8 cards in hand. Alright. Snipe. Perfectly acceptable. 8 cards in hand. Alright, alright. We're trying to go for the Horseman kill. That was the strategy that I chose. That was the strategy that I ultimately chose for this game then. 9 cards in hand. And so first we check for the freezing trap. Some Venom Striking, I don't mind Venom Strikes. No freezing trap. Do I also pop that secret now? I might as well now that I'm at it. Could be explosives, could be Wandering Monster. Wandering Monster almost guaranteed dies to Pyromancer Consecration play, which is the next play that's coming up here. Then we do the Pyromancer and the Consecration to get rid of this Spellstone. And I might use a hero power here while I'm at it. Alright. So far so good. We have now dealt with a Consecration. I'm here with a Spellstone. Dealt with a bunch of secrets. He still has a couple of secrets, and I saw Snipe and Venom Strike, Wandering Most. So there's Explosive and there's Snakes. Explosive and Snakes are the things that remain. So if I attack with this over there, that will proc the Snakes. Don't have a great way to deal with those. I mean, I can kill the Snakes, of course, but the rest... There are no Snakes. So it's an Explosive trap then. Alright. Could be a Rat trap, but I guess that's quite unlikely. I haven't found the Ooter, so I want to cycle a bit here. Probably sacrifice this one, right? Yeah, we sacrifice that one, it's okay. Then go with the Kangor. And start healing up a little bit here. Healing up sounds like a good idea. I don't think it's going to be a Rat Trap. I think Rat Trap is unlikely. But I do need to find my Ooter. I mean, 10 cards left. I really need to find the Ooter. Ah, easy. Yeah, it's my birthday. And I'm still not even 40 yet. Sprinting a kill command on that was not quite what I expected. 9 cards left. I haven't found Ooter. There's still a bunch of card draw left in the deck. Life could be better. But we'll see. I just need to spend the Holy Wrath now to draw a card, by the way. I absolutely do. I could have spent the Holy Wrath to hit the minion, though. Yeah, that was probably a mistake. I should have used the Holy Wrath to hit the minion. Can there be some minion that I want to hit with the Holy Wrath? It's probably going to draw something pretty cheap. Nah, I do need to hit the Holy Wrath to the face. Yeah, could have used it on the minion. So obviously, small mistake there. I needed to recognize here that I need to use the Holy Wrath to draw. Hi Luke, double OTK Paladin. Yeah, this is the Wrath OTK that lots of people are bringing some variant of this to the Americas playoffs tomorrow. This is one that Nalgidan is bringing. There are like several slightly different variants. I liked the look of this one the best, so I want to give this a try. Here comes the Zul'jin. So there is a Snipe. There is a Snipe, so I need to play something into the Snipe. There's a big bunch of Dire Frenzies too. This will draw just one Righteous Protector at the moment. I need to play something into the Snipe. So I need to spend this Sheer Vala into the Snipe, right? But I can still face tank that hit there. Was there a freezing trap? Explosive. Explosive Venom Strike Snipe. Wandering Monster. There's no freezing trap. So this one goes there. Then I play the Crystology to draw. Actually don't have to play the Sheervala into Snipe, I can play the Righteous Protector into Snipe. Righteous Protector goes into the Snipe. Then I could not take the 7 damage, but I think I can afford to. And I want to hold on to the timeout a little bit longer. So the weapon hit goes there. And then comes the Pyromancer Consecration. Pyro Consecration. Which clears this board. Okay, so we clear up this board, but 6 cards remaining. Uther is somewhere in the bottom. What do you think of Viper's Peanut Shaman? It's a good deck in meta where there's no OTK. It's good against like these hunters. It can grind hunters, it can grind against even paladins, even warlocks, odd paladins, but it dies to OTK. So OTK paladins, Mechatoon decks, they just wreck it. So that's a major issue that that deck has. Five cards left, Uther is in the bottom. Well, now I have to spend the Shervala. And there's Explosive Trap and Wandering Monster, I know that. Oh, here we go. Kill that beast. And there's Potion of Heroism on this. There's my Uther. Okay. I still have 2 timeouts. I still have 29 health. I think I will be able to do this. But I'm not completely sure. Do they usually run Deadly Shot in Hybrid Hunter? I'm not sure. But this is like completely fine now. Because Uther comes in and kills that one. And then we start rolling some horsemen. And I have 2 timeouts remaining. So he should not be able to deal enough damage. Unless he gets like another Master's Call to draw multiple Dire Frenzied minions. Pair of Grizzlies. I'm fine with a pair of Grizzlies. So what I can do now is obviously roll a horseman.
No peace, no rest.
Zola the horseman back to my hand. Like this. And then I can Brewmaster Zola back to my hand.
Drink with me, friend.
So that I will be able to Zola more horsemen later. And I'm fine hitting into one of these here. I don't need to spend a timeout yet. This is an acceptable state of affairs so far. I have Equality and Shrink Ray remaining. I don't want to drop the Prismatic Lens, of course. I don't want to go to Fatigue that quickly. There might still be some damage coming in. Alright. Wind Fury can be a problem. Especially if you can find some attack for that. And a Deathstalker Exa. Okay. Well, that is a fair bit of damage then. But I of course have some timeouts and stuff remaining. So do I now need to Shrink Ray? Yeah, this is probably a Shrink Ray turn and not a timeout turn. So I'll just Shrink Ray. And kill off the Wind Fury minion. So that he can't buff it. And then I obviously will roll another horseman. Can I get something else than Darien? I can. And I can Zola this one back to my hand. Alright, I'm at 22, he has 3 on board. I have 2 timeouts remaining. I need to roll 1 more unique horseman. And he also needs to keep killing these horsemen in order to reduce the probability of my horseman rolls. Some wolves. I'm fine with some wolves. Okay, so we have Natscrim and Darion in hand. It is time to roll another horseman. And it's another Natscrim. That is unfortunate. Next question is, do I even want to attack? Because the secret could be Venom Strike Trap. It could be snakes. Snakes aren't that bad either. It is starting to look like I have to roll the good one next. So he has 10 damage here. Can he have 11 from hand? I don't think he can have 11 from hand. I think it's very unlikely. I think I can just equality and end the turn here. Then I will have 2 turns with timeouts. I don't think he can have 11 from hand. But I will take some fatigue as well. So that might become an issue. If he finds something with charge, there could be problems. But if there's nothing with charge, then I still get another pair of rolls here. Okay, Echo Rush isn't scary. I don't mind Echo Rush, and taking 10 is fine. I only take 9, that's perfectly fine. I'm not taking that much fatigue yet. So we have Darion and we have Natscrim in hand. What can we roll this turn? Another Natscrim. That is slightly inconvenient. Now I obviously need to time out. Well, it turns out that next turn I will have to win a 50-50 roll. I have lost 2 50-50s now in a row, and I have to win the third one. Or he will win the game. That is unfortunate, but that's the way this game goes. Third 50-50 roll. Can I win? 1 out of 3 50-50s. Or I lose the game. Would be very sad to lose the game. I think I played pretty well in this game.
No peace, no rest.
I lost the third 50-50 roll in a row, which means that I have no outs remaining. Okay.
You have triumphed.
Play so many spells. Haha, it's a Scarlet. But yeah. It is after all Hearthstone. Well, this is an odd rogue. I needed to do this play to deny any kind of cold blood moves that he might have. I need to start drawing some stuff. Now he kept another card too, so that could be a tug. It's a fledgling. Well, I have no answer to the fledgling either. Equality Consecration comes down, not quite yet, it only comes down in a while. So if I pull with the Crystology, I pull Protector and Kangor. Or Engineer. Well, there's three minions that I can still pull with that. Do I commit a coin? Committing a coin means that it delays the Equality Consecration. I think I can't afford to commit the coin yet. He needs to find a Divine Shield for the fledgling in order to play around the equality plays. If he finds something else, I'm probably just fine with that. Let's see. So I can pull Protector, Novice Engineer. I already have 9 cards in hand. Don't want to... I can't draw with the Prismatic Lens, because I will end up overdrawing. I really don't want to spend the coin. That's the main thing. I really do not want to spend the coin. I think I'll do it like this. I still have the potential equality clear. I have a couple of Divine Shielded minions that are a little bit annoying. Why does he do it in this order? Oh, he's going to SI7 that.
This guy's toast.
Okay, so now, very crucial turn. What does he find for the fledgling? I don't care about the Wind Fury. Only thing I care about is Divine Shield or... well, that's the Divine Shield. But I can still kill it. It's not like I can't kill it. It just means that I can't kill the Squire. I can still kill the fledgling, but the Squire will live now. So I didn't get a full board clear, which means that if he has stuff like Fungal Mancers, he can still get value. Alright, getting rid of that is something. There's Protector and Engineer in this Christology.
This guy's toast.
Alright, a little bit of damage coming in. Still potential for Fungal Mancers and stuff. Hooter is still some turns away. He might have a Vilespine Slayer. This would be a guaranteed spell draw. 4, 5, 6. He doesn't have another 12 from hand. Grabbing that Pyro can be extremely valuable. So I have the Pyro Shrink Ray potentially for next turn. Do I want to use a Flash of Light now? Pyro Shrink Ray on 7. What do I do on 8? Maybe I need to play this Flash of Light here. He plays something like Fungal Mancer. Probably a Fungal Mancer. That is the expectation here. Leroy Coldblood would actually be lethal. Unless I time out now. I need to time out this turn. Then I need to go with the Pyro Clear next turn. And I need to set up the Righteous Protector with that turn. But I also need to Flash of Light this turn. So I need to play the Christology to draw the Righteous Protector. Because I will need that for next turn. And I need to time out now. And in order to prevent Leroy lethal after my Pyromancer clear, I have to do a Flash of Light this turn. This is the line. This is the line. Next turn it's Shrink Ray. Next turn is Pyromancer, Shrink Ray, Righteous Protector. But he still might have Vilespine Slayers. Now I don't have to use the Shrink Ray. I can use Pyro Equality, which allows me to develop a little bit more. Pyro Equality, 4 mana, Righteous Protector, Novice Engineer. There's probably a Vilespine Slayer in that hand. It's got to be the Pyro Equality turn. Pyro Equality, Novice Engineer, and Brewmaster Protector. This has got to be that. You need Shirvala Zola. Obviously I would love to have Shirvala here. Unfortunately I do not. Oh no, this is another Fungal Mancer turn. Nope. Yes. And still 2 cards left in the hand. So can I afford to Ooter? Oh boy, still 2 cards left in the hand. That could be Leroy Coldblood, would be 10. I go to 26 and there'd be 10, 12, plus 9, 19. Getting very, very close. But if I go for the Shrink Ray route this turn, that doesn't actually get me anywhere. I have to have faith in the Ooter, because I can time out later on when I'm Ooter, potentially. I just use my minions now to reduce incoming damage. I'm at 23, he has 6 on board. He needs 17 from hand to have lethal this turn. So that is unlikely.
I will silence their screams.
That there is not 17. And that's a Shervala. I think I can commit to Shrink Ray here. I think this is going to be game. Shervala kills one. Solo makes a copy of Shervala. The other Shervala kills another. I bounce that back to the hand. And do I even care about the 1/1? Might kill the 1/1. I didn't really have to do that. But this will be game. There are no outs for him. Phew. That was hectic for a time. You do realize I have another Shervala in my hand. 6 cards in the deck, so this might go on for some more turns. This might go on for a couple of more turns, but there's no real risk anymore. The game has already been won. There simply isn't anything left in the deck. There simply isn't anything left in the deck that wins. Let's drop Consecration here. This will soon be over. This was already 50%. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was 50% lethal with Holy Wrath. If it was pulled a 4 mana thing, that would have been lethal. It would have dealt 5, or it could have dealt 3. Actually, if I didn't trade, it would have been lethal with the Holy Wrath. I underestimated the power of Holy Wrath again. We're facing a rogue. I think I keep something like this. 4 of 30 cards in time, but not all of them help against everything. In many cases, the Tsihi specifically that you need. It's only against Clone Priest where Polymorph is actually doing something. So it's not a quest rogue and it's not an old rogue. Okay. I have to draw a little bit here. I have the True Silver and that's a big deal. Unless he coins Fledgling now. But if he plays like Tug next turn, then this True Silver is actually very good. So I could get on the board. I think I'll get on the board.
The light dims, but we fight.
I can get on the board with both minions, it's fine. Oh, Prep Fan. That's powerful. And a backstab too. Whoa, he's very, very committed. But at least there was no Edwin. If there was an Edwin, I might have died. I mean, I can still die. But not to this Tug. I believe I have enough time to Prismatic Lens next turn. This looks like a Miracle Rogue now. Some people have been playing Miracle Rogue again. Hot Me Out played some Miracle Rogue recently. Yeah, that's a miracle. Time to lens. Zola and Holy Wrath. Alright. And I think I want to kill the 4/4. No particular reason to let that hit me in the face, although this can of course also be cold-blooded, which would be a bit of an issue. Raiding party, alright.
Blood and plunder.
That's interesting. How much damage can I take? Well, that's my Shirvala. This is getting more and more interesting, because that's 5s. That's 8 damage. Another 14 would kill me. So what is my best approach? Is it just to lens? I don't think I want to clean this up yet. Next turn I could do Pyro Equality timeout if I really wanted to. I think I want to lens. I could get Talons out there. But I could also just Flash of Light my face. 9 cards in hand. Flash of Light can be used with the Pyro. I think I'll just drop the Talnos. I think this is acceptable. I don't expect to die yet, although there could be some cold blooding going on. And that weapon, of course, is becoming dangerous. Need to drop the Pyro Equality here, I believe. It could also be Equality Pyro, Flash of Light. That seems acceptable. Equality, Pyromancer, Flash of Light my face, and then I can play the Righteous Protector. So I don't die to any sort of Leroy combo here.
Blood and plunder.
Alright, deckhand, but does he have something that kills the Pyro? He needs one more card. This does not yet kill the Pyromancer, which is kind of a big deal.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
So there is a 6/6 Edwin. I think I'm on some kind of Shirvala play in this game. But what kind of Shirvala play is that going to be? Because if he has Myras, and I spent my Shrink Ray, I need to spend the Equality, right? But then I don't get the Shirvala discounted as much. I need to Zola. I need to Zola Equality, so that I get to keep another Pyromancer. He only has 2 cards, so I cannot die to Leroy double Cold Blood. I can if there's Myras, actually. If he draws Leroy... No, I can't, because he doesn't have enough mana.
I'm out of cards.
Alright, so guaranteed spiders next turn. This is getting interesting. This is getting really interesting. I need to do Pyro Shrink Ray next turn when the spiders come. So this turn it's a timeout. So Leroy play, I don't die. He could also have a Shadow Step for the Falderai. If I play Uther, I go 24 down to 20. There might be a way to die. I think I'll try this. Because I don't want him to be Shadow Stepping that Falderai. That would mean that he would get another spider board. So I took my chances and I won big time. And now I have a Pyromancer clear. What if he has that Leroy out there? So I still want to play Shirvala, right? It's Shrink Ray. No, it's Shirvala. 5. That's 10 mana. Yes, Shirvala first to heal. Brewmaster to Shirvala back to hand. Then Pyro Shrink Ray.
It's time to test your metal. Too slow.
So first we heal for 7. Then I Brewmaster the Shirvala back to the hand. And then I'll do Pyromancer Shrink Ray. So that we wipe this board. He has 7 cards remaining. But I don't think he has enough tools to build boards that can beat me, because I have Chiroman and Shirvala and I have Uther, and then we win. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.